Hello everyone, welcome to Milo e-learning. Just to let you know that I started this channel mainly to help learners understand content and they can view it later when they're revising. Now we're doing geography, map skills, specifically longitude and latitude. Now we need to find maps. Where are we going to find it? We're going to find it in an atlas. Now you need to understand what an atlas is. Basically, an atlas is a book of maps. It's a collection of graphs and charts and maps. Now we use atlases because we want to find out information about places, its location, the population size, geographic information, and also topographic information. Now, we also have something called GPS. Now, GPS is basically an online map, which is very resourceful. But you also need to learn how to use an atlas in case the internet shuts down. Hopefully it won't, but just in case. Now, at the front of the book of an atlas, you will find the table of contents. Now, this on the picture here, you can see on the right, is basically how a table of contents looks. It has headings, and it has sections and subsections. Now, let's look at one section, for example, physical systems. Now, the subsections are basically broken up into the physical world, and it has a page reference for that. Then it's broken up into climate, and it has a specific page for that. Now, these are all different types of maps that you're going to find. Another example would be population size, and it has a page reference for that. So there are different types of maps in an atlas. You get also physical maps, and then you get um, um, different types of maps in it. Now, at the back of the atlas, you get the index. The index basically looks like this. Now, it helps you to locate cities, states, and countries and continents. It's in alphabetical order, and next to each place name, basically list all the pages that you will find its location in. And this is a clearer picture for you to see. You see the place names, and next to it is the page numbers you will find it. Now, using an atlas, there's three most important things you need to know. It has a key. The key basically gives you information on how to read a map. Then you have the scale. An example of the scale you can see at the bottom right-hand corner basically tells you the distance one place is to another. It also tells you the proportion of the map to the ground. Like, for example, 1 centimeter on the map represents 100 kilometers on the ground. Then we have the compass. The compass basically locates information or pinpoints direction. Now let's use all three to interpret this map here. Now to the right, you can see there's the key. Now if you look at the center of the map, you'll see Junction City. It's one big black dot. Now you're not going to know what that black dot means unless you look at the key. Now if you look at the key, it's going to tell you it's a population. It has a population of over 200,000 people. Now, if you look at the aeroplanes at the bottom of Junction City, then you need to look at the key to find out what it is. Now, that's the international airport. Now, you're going to look at the compass. Now, in relation to Junction City, in which direction is the international airport? So you look at the compass and you're going to say it is in a southerly direction. Now, if you look at the map, you will see some triangles on the left. Now, you look at the compass and you say from Junction City, the triangles on the left is in a northeasterly direction. Sorry, no, northwesterly direction. But if you look at the key, you're going to say, no, that those triangles are basically a camping site or a picnic area. So don't forget to look at all three, the key, the scale, and the compass. If I want to know how far do I need to drive from Junction City to the camping site, you are going to use the scale. But we'll do that in another video when we will do distance and scale. Now let's look at the compass specifically. The compass basically gives you direction. Now you must know that the Earth is broken up into different hemispheres. Now, hemispheres mean half. Now, we have the equator, it's a 0-degree line of latitude. Now, this breaks up the Earth into the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. And then we have the Greenwich meridian, which is a 0-degree line of longitude, and it breaks up the Earth into the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. Now we have the northern hemisphere, which is at the top, the southern hemisphere, which is at the bottom. Now there are 4 quadrants. Now the top right-hand quadrant is basically called the northeastern hemisphere. The top left, northwestern hemisphere. Bottom left, southwestern hemisphere. And bottom right, southeastern hemisphere. Now, if I want to know if I'm in South Africa, in which direction is Canada? We're going to say it is a northwesternly direction. Now, hemispheres basically mean half. It breaks up the Earth into the different hemispheres. The equator breaks up the Earth into the northern and southern hemisphere, the prime meridian into the eastern and western hemisphere. So you can see this in the picture. Right, so this next slide here basically tells you information about lines of longitude and latitude. You can view it at your leisure later on, or you could take down notes from it if you wish at a later stage. Basically, this slide tells you that the lines of longitude and latitude basically form a grid. Now, if we want to look at the grid, we could see it on a sphere. We could see how they are evenly spaced out, the lines of longitude and latitude, and each one is given a degree, always starting with the 0-degree line of latitude and the 0-degree line of longitude. Now, on a flat map, you could see here how the lines of longitude and latitude are set out. Now, just a little bit more facts about longitude. Now, the lines of longitude are known as meridians. They run from north to south. They divide the Earth into the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. They are equal distance to each other. You could see you have 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees. So if we go to the east, it is 10 degrees east, 20 degrees east. If we go to the west, it is 10 degrees west, 20 degrees west. The furthest lines of longitude is 180 degrees, and it's called the international date line. Now, we do lines of latitude. They are parallel to each other. They equal distance from each other. We start at the equator, which is a 0-degree line of latitude. They run from east to west. If we're going in a northerly direction, it is 10 degrees north, 20 degrees north, 30 degrees north. If we're going in a southerly direction, it is 10 degrees south, 20 degrees south, 30 degrees south. The furthest line of latitude is 90 degrees, which is at the poles, the North Pole and the South Pole. So let's look at a blank sphere, which we can call the Earth. So the North Pole is at the top. We have the equator, which is a 0-degree line of latitude. Then we have the prime meridian or Greenwich meridian, which is a 0-degree line of longitude. So the equator is a line of latitude. The Greenwich meridian is a line of longitude. Then we have another line of latitude, and that is called the Tropic of Cancer. It's 30 degrees north. And we have the Tropic of Capricorn, which is 30 degrees south. You must ask yourself, why are these two lines of latitude taught to us? Why is it important? Now, it is important because you must know that the Earth is tilted. So, because it is tilted between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, this area receives direct sunlight, the direct rays from the sun. Now, as we go to the poles, these are the lowest angle of incoming light from the sun, which is why the North Pole and the South Pole is much colder than this region here between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So this area has direct sunlight. So the GSC is the geographic coordinate system, which is made up of the lines of longitude and latitude. Now let's look at this Earth. Now this is how we're going to find out coordinates. If we look at South America, we have a blue dot here. Now from the equator, which is a 0-degree line, if we go one line down, it is 10 degrees south. From the prime meridian, if we go in a westerly direction, it is 30 degrees west. So our coordinates is 10 degrees south, 30 degrees west. If we look at Russia, so the next blue dot at the top, it's in the south and northeastern hemisphere. So we have 0-degree line equator. We're going 10, 20, 30, 40 degrees north. And from the prime meridian, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 degrees east. And our coordinates is 40 degrees north, 60 degrees east. And pilots and ships normally put these coordinates from one place to another, so it takes them specifically to that place. Right, I hope you enjoyed my lesson. Remember always to write the latitude first and the longitude second. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop me a note in the comments if you want me to do a video on a specific section. Bye everyone. Have a good day.